it do, y'all? We back with another episode of Wrestling with the Exotics. It's your boys, the Franchise Kid, Franchise Jerry, and I got my dog with me.
I think I need a Fujiwara, also known as I don't see nobody.
That is a fact, and we're excited to be back, and we're about to give you guys some wrestling news. Let's get right into it. Last night I had attended TNA Hard to Kill. It was a pretty decent pay-per-view, but you can tell that they were just trying to usher in a whole new era of superstars and try to also give the show a new vibe, which is why certain names like Alex Shelley and Naomi lost their championships last night. And even though it was hard to see them lose, I felt like at the end of the day it was the right decision for the company, because the people that they put over them look like they can really hold it down and also look like they fit the part. So therefore I don't really have a problem with that, but I am excited to see the possibility of Trinity returning back to WWE. Sasha Banks and Bayley, you can see them in the crowd just behind commentary keeping an eye on her match, and I thought that was also dope because, you know, Sasha was there for her first match and now she's there for her last match, and the fact that she's just been supporting her throughout this entire run, I think that's really dope, and that shows how supportive of a friend Sasha Banks is. And, you know, it also shows how real of a person she is, because she can easily be doing a plethora of things other than being there for Naomi. I mean, there's so much wrestling going on and so many other places for her to possibly be, but she's there watching her friend defend that belt one last time. I thought that was really dope. With that being said, how did you feel about Naomi finally losing her championship to Jordynne Grace?
To be honest, it wasn't too much of a surprise because I thought it was a former knockout champion. But I will say,
now she's a three-time knockouts champion.
And I will say though that Naomi, you've proven that throughout this run, you're ready to come back to WWE, because I feel like this was a natural break for you, but at the same time, this is the best thing that could have happened, because I know even in WWE you were consistently building your skills and like doing new things to show new moveset, and I always appreciated that from you, because you're one of the few wrestlers that actually in this day and age that actually would revamp their moveset
while they're still wrestling.
Yeah, while they're still wrestling. So I know when you go into TNA, that's all you've been doing is doing new moves, bringing a new moveset. That's why you went to go wrestle.
I can see her hit anybody with the ass this match. She didn't hit.
She's a wrestler because you know what it's showing. Because I feel like WWE, when you leave there and you go on that independent circuit, fuck the check and all that other shit, you start seeing yourself like you want to build that camaraderie with these guys. But they're never gonna look at you like that if you can't mat wrestle, or if you don't have the basis to really put on a match with them.
Right.
And then like a match, you just could imagine like how you say she didn't see her hit that move on nobody once. Could you imagine?
Right. The rear view.
Imagine rear view. Imagine if some backstage they try to joke with her like, "Are you gonna hit that on me tonight?" Like, just kidding. And actually look, you fucking with her like, I never even wanted to do that move. It was a white dude in a suit telling me that to be a good finisher for me.
Right.
So like now she has the ability to work on her character, do all this stuff, and come back, and we might not even see her hit no fucking rear view in WWE. Would not be a great character?
I would love that.
That'd be dope. So like seeing her go through, have a year-plus reign with the Knockouts Championship, and be in their history books, not as like a comedy act or entertainment act, but a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Because half of the time in WWE was comedy, professional wrestler. Even though she won the first ever female NXT, she's never got that just due until I want to say 2018. And Naomi really tried to put herself out there. So I want to say congrats to her. Even though it was a loss, the big things on the horizon. So I look forward to see what she got going, man.
Man, definitely. She really outdid herself in this TNA run, and I'm excited to see her get back to WWE. Because if she going back, I know for sure Sasha is going to be following close behind. And you see her and Bayley was there supporting her. So this is only rising the speculations even more.
In other news, on the opposite side of the Forbidden Door, we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. Samoa Joe, his first appearance with the black strap, so he brought back the original AEW championship. But also they added some cool features to it. They now have side plates on it. I think it was a nice little accent to the belt, just because I see how WWE markets stuff, and AEW, I am okay with you doing a little bit of following suit, but not full on, like how I saw there was a full on decal on a championship belt that looked very like childish, like Toys R Us, like So to see that they kept the original silhouette of the championship belt, all the gold accents and stuff as well, but adding the side plates on the side of the belt is actually really good. It was really dope, because the worst thing that I saw was that decal in the middle of the belt. But Samoa Joe coming out with that championship, I cannot lie, it looked right. And I was listening to Nigel McGuinness. I was listening to Nigel McGuinness, and he was like, that provides a lot of credibility, and it's like, that's true.
Major credibility. Something that Max was not providing. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but like, that was just something that I just kept highlighting to you the entire run. That's why I kept telling you, Jay White, look at Jay White hold the belt, or look at, you know, anybody else hold the belt that's more decorated than MJF. It just looked right. AEW looked more professional. And when niggas leave AEW, that's the main thing they talk about, is this shit is not professional. This is professional wrestling, but it's not ran correctly. The inmates really run the show over here.
Yeah, but I feel like it is said to that right after that, as he gave Joe his props, he said the prior World Heavyweight Champion MJF still had one of the longest reigns ever, still provided great matches and duration, which he did. Even though I could say credibility-wise, I feel like more so you revolve right around his character work, not so his in-ring work. And then the character work will lead you to not really want to see him flourish in that in-ring.
I'm talking about in-ring and character work. Because, bro, Jay White, how he holds himself in the ring, bro, that ring work compared to MJF's ring work is impressive. Samoa Joe's multi-champion, multiple businesses, is more impressive. Like, yeah, when you John Moxley, Daniel Bryanson, when you put these niggas in that position to hold that belt, it just makes the company just look more professional. Now, I'm not saying AEW wasn't looking professional with MJF, but like, it just added on to the credibility, and it just looked right when you seen
it does look
these
right.
niggas
But all those people you named have had their time to shine already, and at the same time, they all been Max. They all been that young upstart nigga that the older nigga, like, I feel like I shouldn't put you over. I'm more skilled, I'm more seasoned than you, and then niggas had to look at them like, hey, it's not your time, but the party's over, grandpa. So I feel like Max, and I love that Max actually held it down. Like, as much as we joke around with him having to be bullied by Samoa Joe, I love that Samoa Joe took that championship from him, because that's also something that he's always done. Provided realism in his championship reigns, or realism in his character work that revolves around wrestling, that make you really be like, this wrestling shit is real. Look at the shit he did with CM Punk.
Samoa Joe, the realest nigga alive.
he wanted him, but I give him credit too, but I also give him Max credit, because Max could have been like, nah, you push me, you cannot beat me for this shit. That's one thing. People could always say that, but that makes that shit even better.
That type of pull, bro.
I feel like he's
not nowhere near Triple H, and nor can Max hold Samoa Joe down 2 times in a row.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like he decided who to drop it to, because he already beat him once. He could have been like, I beat you. It's very easy if he's a slimy, like, oh, I'm running from it. I can never beat you. You can't beat me for this shit. Anybody but you.
The simple fact that I even told you on that show when we covered that pay-per-view, the simple fact that MJF beat him with Samoa Joe's move.
Yes. Oh,
I was like, yeah, no, Samoa Joe's gonna get you. He's gonna get you back, because the stories don't just end like that.
Choked the nigga out, but it's cool. But anyway, I just want to talk about how he came out there and he stated his claim, told the niggas no more whole ass comments, and it's like, that's what we need to see. Because one thing is for sure,
was that a shot at Tony, or was that a shot at Max? I was trying to understand who.
That was not a shot. That was a shot at a bunch of other people, because Max, he don't really talk shit on there because he get what he wants. And if he is,
I watched this man walk up to Swerve and say he gonna break his arm. He gonna break his arm so that way he can always swerve when he drops.
That's his face.
That's what I'm saying. Max is known for talking shit and saying this little shit.
Not on Twitter. That was for the Twitter fingers. Okay. That was for the Twitter fingers. Max, he got Twitter fingers, but he's saying that shit to your face. Like, I love how you said that. Swerve when you drive. We gonna break them hard.
I'm like, that nigga is shit talking.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand.
But also, I think it's great that leads me to my next point. Swerve came out there trying to stake his claim to the AEW World Championship, saying that this year is going to be the year for the first ever black AEW World Champion. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But also, my dog Hangman came out there as well. He came over there to start tripping. He's like, nigga, this ain't over. This is not over. Get your little Prince Nana that escorts you out the ring where he go buy his little high school weed, but this shit ain't over, nigga. Until it ain't over till I say it's over, nigga. I'm like that ghost. I'm gonna keep coming back. I'm gonna get mine.
They're really crazy for putting that out there that Nana buy weed from high school kids. Nana does not participate in none of that.
Yeah, he do. This is what he do when he get the weed.
No.
Yeah. What is this now? 3.5.
Nana go to dispensaries. Look, Nana go to dispensaries or to actual adults. Nana don't deal with kids. Don't put that on Nana name. Come on now, niggas is wild. I won't stand for no Prince Nana disrespect. Hell no, that's my nigga, bro. Fuck you. He always got all the hoes back up dancing for him. He don't play, and he don't even wrestle or do nothing. He come out there and take the craziest punches for this nigga Swerve and all type of shit, bro. Nigga Prince Nana hold it down, bro. And he done turned that nigga song up, bro. So, man, I won't stand for
you.
Really dancing.
You saw me hit that shit before he really started. Before the background dance. Before all that, I did it. Because I knew, I seen the vision. I was like, this nigga's funny. He got it. He be playing a little silly African. He know what he want. He know.
Oh, catch your vibe.
Oh. He said they want to see me dance, Swerve. And they got, okay, boss man.
I love how Swerve don't even be paying attention.
He don't even acknowledge him,
bro. He don't even acknowledge.
He said, "This is for y'all. This is for y'all."
That nigga Swerve will come out with a straight face, and Nana will be in the back just going crazy, and Swerve will just be like, "Nigga, don't even for 1 second take a look back or nothing." He just know Nana's showing out right here,
and he like,
right. But yeah, no, I was actually hyped that Samoa Joe came out, my dude. But no, I was actually hyped the way Samoa Joe came out because you did mention he had the new belt and it was back in black. Looked strong, looked solid. I did like the Burberry, but you know the black is where
timeless.
It's at. That's
timeless.
That's where it's at. You know, so and then on top of that, how many times in Samoa Joe's career have you seen him in a suit? Come on, bro. Like, and that just added a whole character and level of prestige to him. Because we ain't never seen you come out in a suit, bro. And I just caught the vibe that now that this nigga got the suit on, he about to start acting extra crazy, bro. Because Samoa Joe done showed you the Savage Samoan and, you know, and all those other crazy ass characters.
Violence.
But he ain't never showed you controlled violence like this. That's what I call this. Him being in a suit, I'm looking at that as controlled violence and anger and all that. It's controlled. It looked like, okay, he on almost, I want to say on some Roman Reigns shit. I have mentioned to you, Roman Reigns need to start wearing a suit. Because nigga, I will take you even more seriously and you'll look even cooler and like, you know, you'll up this bloodline shit. Like Paul Heyman shouldn't be the only one in a suit in the bloodline. Like if all of them came out in suits, like we'd all be looking at the bloodline a little different. Like, oh, these niggas mean business. Like this is controlled violence right here, you know? So right. So like, you know, seeing Samoa Joe come out in the suit and shit, like he looks like what an AEW champion should look like. He looked like the leader of a company. He looks like this reign is inevitable and there ain't no stopping it. So yeah, I'm really hyped on seeing Samoa Joe's new look, and I'm also excited to see who his new #1 contender is about to be.
That brings me to my next point. Who do you feel is going to be challenging for Revolution? Are we going to get a triple threat match for the championship?
I don't even know, bro. I'm enjoying my time. I'm gonna take my time with this. Yeah. I've been waiting on Samoa Joe to be a world champion for years now. I can't even count because that's
since 2017 because he had that match with Brock Lesnar where he should have beaten him at the Great Balls of Fire.
Even before that, bro, I've been waiting to see Samoa Joe be the top of a company, bro. So now that it's finally happening, I'm chilling. I'm gonna take a break. Hell, let his first title defense be against a fucking Rook, or you know, it's against Hook. I'm cool with that. That's an easy fade for him. Hook is obviously gonna do well in the match, but we know how this is gonna end. That's cool. Let's take it slow. And then Samoa Joe, don't let a nigga have another opportunity for at least another 2 months. Cool. Cool. Two and a half. Let's really space this shit out. I want him to at least have a good 7 to 10 defenses. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that, and then I wouldn't mind seeing them lose that. But between that 7 and 10, I can see them stretching that out for this being another 6 to 8 month long reign.
You see this
like
nigga,
it's not just about to go away.
America, you see this nigga? If this is MJF, any nigga I fuck with this guy, he need to have a defense after defense after defense after defense. This guy talking about you gotta space him out. He trying to plan Samoa doing all the 6 to 8.
Bro, that's what Samoa. That's what MJF just did.
Is that not what MJF? No, I'm cool with that. But you wasn't cool with that.
Stretched it out for a whole year.
You wasn't cool.
A whole year.
Oh, he was not cool.
The nigga dragged the match out. Pause. The nigga dragged it out for an entire year, bro. For an entire year, and then even after he surpassed Kenny Omega, which was cap. He still went and held that shit for a couple more months. So, bro, how many people did he even defend it against in this shit? Not more than 10.
Like 11, almost.
Not more than 10.
Let's count right now, because I got. You got Ethan Page, because we always forget about him. You got Darby, Sammy, Jungle Boy. We got Kenny Omega, John Moxley. Who else we got? Bryan Danielson, Jay White, Adam Cole, Samoa Joe. There's one more person he defended it against, and that'll be 11. And
I think it was that Asian nigga.
Nah, he didn't have it yet when he fought. No, he did have it when he fought Takeshita, but it didn't count because he didn't defend it against him.
No, not Takeshita. I'm talking about the.
Oh, yep, 11. You know exactly what was kind of. You see?
I don't really count that fatal 4-way match. I'm just fast, bro. Why? AEW? Yeah. Bro, that's what I call wood burning. That's what I call wood burning. We just need to, prolong this title run a little bit. So let's just throw our 4 pillars in there and just, yeah, we already know the best one is gonna win, but it's literally what they're about to do with Roman Reigns right now. They're literally putting him in a fatal 4-way of the best people in WWE right now, knowing damn well he's going to go over them just to prolong this and give us something to watch. So therefore, I don't even really count that shit, but I'm talking about the one-on-one title matches, bro. The matches, bro. Fuck that nigga.
I see. You see, that's all you gotta say, bro. That's gonna be a moonwalk. That's it.
Hey, man. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good.
But that's what I'm saying. At least I said Samoa Joe should have at least 7 to 10. I never said anything above that because I believe that's what would be legible and understandable and would make the most sense. So, MJF, no way in hell he should have made it that far. And niggas in professional wrestling know that. And if he didn't cheat for half of that shit, he probably would have lost it sooner, okay? Nah. So it wasn't until Adam Cole came around and then he decided to stop cheating in his matches. But up until then, which people like you don't mention, he cheated in every single match he competed in.
I did not mention that. The proof is in the pudding. Nigga gonna cheat to win. Gotta risk it for the biscuit. We in it to get the ticket. And he gonna get that ticket every time.
It's a difference when you cheat because you're actually good at wrestling and you can on some Eddie Guerrero shit. Or when you cheat because you know that you're barely getting by with your wrestling moves, which is why you come up with dumbass shit to get the crowd's attention, like the kangaroo kick or like the double clothesline. Yeah, because your moveset has been iffy this whole way, and it wouldn't be believable for you to go over niggas like Will Ospreay or Samoa Joe or Swerve or any of these niggas with the moveset that you got. So that's why you cheat to win your matches.
That's cap.
That's why, bro. I just broke it down.
It's never gonna be forever. I said it's not gonna be forever. Max is gonna come back and have to do all this. I love that every time you talk shit about Max, he come through and win and he prove you wrong. He said, and literally it's like the underlying thing. He'll do that specific thing that you'll talk about. So I can't wait to see what comes back from the injury, man. But other than that, toast to Samoa Joe.
He's drunk. He's done. In other news, Nick Nemeth appears on TNA programming at the end of Hard to Kill. Again, I attended that pay-per-view, so I did see Nick Nemeth in person. I wasn't really too hyped to see him there. At the same time, I didn't understand why he was there. He was just in New Japan making all that drama and smoke, you know. And now it looked like he running away from David, Fidley's son, for you guys that don't know. And I'm just like, all right, what's going on, Nick? What's the end goal? Are you competing for that championship still? Does that championship... Because I also have to mention, Nick was like, this championship means everything to me when he jumped David out of nowhere. So I'm like, okay, where's that same energy? Has all that energy transferred over here to winning the TNA championship? Because that was the match that he came out at the end of, at the very end of the show, and it basically looked like he was challenging the new TNA World Champion Moose. So I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is the end goal with Nick Nemeth. And is he going to show up next week on Dynamite and try to beat the hell out of Samoa Joe and say the same thing about that belt?
He might do that. He might do exactly. He might exactly show up to Dynamite just because everyone... I feel like that's the last place he's going just because everyone expects him to go to AEW just because it's the biggest promotion outside of WWE in America. But I feel like him, like I was saying off camera earlier, I feel like he within himself is trying to make up all the fantasy book and all that. Oh, what if Dolph Ziggler could have been wrestling strong style all this time? So he's going to divide all his time throughout these promotions, like basically work like an indie. But bro, you're 43. I know you're in good shape and all that, but it's like I just feel within myself that I don't really care to see you do all that. And I don't. And that's kind of selfish to be like, because you got fans and people who care to see you, but do you give a fuck about him doing any of that? Like, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be better if you just in one sole promotion like AEW or something like that? Because it's like, bro, you in America doing your thing, basically.
Bro, it's all about where am I going to shine the brightest?
Yeah.
Where am I going to be able to take my name to another level? And I think I told you on the last episode, him being at New Japan is perfect for him. Because it's going to give you that credibility. Any nigga that go to... Even Hulk Hogan got more credibility when he went to New Japan. So, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, Dolph, you need that credibility, that experience, bro. Because still, your finisher is a super kick and the zigzag where you grab a nigga head and slam him to the back of the mat. It's 2024,
whiplash.
bro. Right. We're trying to give niggas whiplash. It's 2024. No, it's the same thing I'm out here saying about Jey Uso, bro. Like, you're not about to be beating niggas with spears, frog splashes, and super kicks. It is 2024, bro. So him being in New Japan could help him create a whole new moveset for himself and then also bring him back to prominence. But at the same time, you can't go wrong with being in TNA either, bro. So I'm saying you need to pick one. Pick one and stay there. And give that place your all, bro, because you being at TNA will be extremely well for your career. You going to AEW right now, I just told you off camera why Will Ospreay shouldn't go there, bro. It's too much competition there right now. Too many people that have staked their claim to the AEW championship. Like you saw when Samoa Joe came out. After he came out, 3 other niggas came out talking about, I'm next.
I said we like it.
And Nick Nemeth is gonna jump the line and run a Swerve, Hangman, and all these other dudes.
Will break his arms.
And what? And really help him swerve when he drive. So I'm trying to tell you, Nick, you need to stick to where the grass is greener, and the grass is low-key greener on TNA. I can see you going over Moose eventually and doing all that wild shit. But if you really want to have that solid, legible wrestler's career like Daniel Bryanson and them, you got to go to New Japan, bro. Because ain't nobody ever going to respect you, Mr. Kent State. Yeah, nobody give a fuck about Kent State, bro. That shit was a long time ago.
TNA, bro. Can we keep it stacked? Like, yeah, he went to that shit, and we love wrestling, so we going to watch TNA. But legibility-wise, bro, TNA ain't been on a national platform since like 2013, 2014, bro. That's the last time it was really, really, really legible, bro. It was on TV. Yeah. Man, like, so, and it's in the internet right now. And I think they're going to have, they just signed a deal with CW to put it back on TV. But that's not your lane. That's not for you. You already, we're on two bigger platforms. Last time you were on CW, you were on SmackDown, and you were a highlight on that promotion. And at the same time, you were the main event going against Edge, doing that weird shit with Vicky Guerrero. So you don't want to be back on that platform and not be on the same level. And then now you're a world champion, but for a less than promotion. Now, you see the differences between New Japan and AEW and all that. AEW won't get as much, like he said, like, pull-wise, but at the same time, you're going to be a legible talent, young up-to-speed guys, so that anything, that's really testing you like, damn, you can keep it.
Look, you want to see him versus Christian Cage.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be a good fight.
I was just thinking about Edge. Like, you could see him go renewing that food with Edge, and then Edge could be like, there's no Vicky here now. There's nobody to help you. Let's see what you really got. Like, shit like that. You could be going against them and really putting on classics. Or you could go against David Finlay.
Speaking of Edge, really quickly, his match last night with Lee Moriarty, bro, that was a good-ass match, bro.
That's why Edge came here, because he was like, they won't let me wrestle like this.
That was a good-ass match, bro. And I liked at the beginning, he was like,
talking shit.
He was telling Lee, like, hey, you better chill out, because if you don't do all that shit you just said, I'm going to beat the shit out you. And sure enough, bro, he made that nigga tap out, and I wasn't even expecting that. But, like, Lee also was showing me something in that match too, where I'm like, oh shit, this nigga is actually him, low key, and his groundwork, his wrestling groundwork is like is great, bro. He had Adam in all type of submissions and had the nigga hemmed up and all type of shit. So I was like, oh yeah, Lee, he gonna be that dude, bro. He just got to keep working, bro. He just got to keep working and get him more.
That's why he's just there for them niggas, cause he's like, bro, all the young niggas in WWE, you guys head up the executive asses. At least these young niggas here, they hungry to want to wrestle.
They hungry because they not on WWE yet.
Exactly.
Like, for example, if Austin Theory left WWE today and then went to AEW or any other company, bro, he gonna be sitting there smelling his shit. He gonna be there, I'm that nigga already, and I didn't even have to win belts over there. The simple fact that I was able to get there before you, I'm off the rip better than you. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be the mentality. But overall, I'm happy to see Nick Nemeth in TNA. I feel like that's going to be the easiest way to the top for him, because you're not getting to the top in New Japan. There's too many crazy dudes there in front of you. And then, yeah, you're not going over Okada. Hell to the fuck no. And no way in hell are you about to just jump the ranks in AEW. Even though that's like the fan favorite place for you to go, obviously, because that's the hot place for ex-WWE wrestlers to go to still be relevant in the game, it's just not for you, bro. I think it's best that you help TNA rise back to prominence, to be real with you. What else you got for us on our news broadcast today, my guy?
Yeah, man, this has been a very, very active week for New Japan. You see that Jon Moxley challenged NATO for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship?
And I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool with that, and I wouldn't mind Jon Moxley going to have a resurgence in New Japan. And I wish that they would have New Japan Wrestling back on cable regularly. I think like throwback episodes get played every once in a while. Like, I got it on my DVR.
I know it used to be on the channel AXS or something like Access or some shit like that.
Stuff like that. I want them to come back to cable too.
But
bro.
I feel like that'd be perfect for John.
It's too hard to find these pay-per-views and keep up with New Japan, and I want to keep up, but I literally can't. I have to depend on social media to keep me in the game. You know what I mean? Because social media is the only way that I even knew Jon Moxley was doing that.
I want to say, I feel like that's perfect for him to challenge for that championship. He has somewhat of a history with NATO, and the fact that Jon Moxley's been in New Japan this long and hasn't held that championship will make it pretty cool to see him start going for that, because I feel like a lot of wrestlers need to have do this similar type of route. Like, when it comes to promotion, American or not or foreign, invest time into it. Don't just make it seem like it's all about you. Because we were just talking about that with like Dolph Ziggler. Like, yeah, we're happy to see him try to have that career resurgence in there as well. But at the same time, we know you didn't get your just due all the way in WWE. So if we see you rush to the top too much, you kind of like weaseled your way. What'd you do to get that? Because you were pretty cool with WWE and they still didn't give you that. So it's like, we can't just believe that. So seeing someone who, for example, like Jon Moxley, legible WWE champion, not World Heavyweight champion, and at the same time knew he didn't get his just due, went to New Japan.
Triple Crown.
Yeah, Triple Crown. Went to New Japan and still won the IWGP Heavyweight US Championship. But that's him paying his dues. He got storylines invested in New Japan from him leaving in 2019 that he can revisit. and even on his way to getting this championship. So it don't just seem out of the blue. And I feel like that's a lot of time what these wrestlers are missing. Because
and I feel like he did everything he could do in the AEW, bro. He bled every fucking match you asked him to. Jesus Christ, like
I just feel like he needs to have a different focus so it can take away from. So it doesn't take away from anybody in AEW. Because, for example, like when he goes against people like Eddie or Continental Classic or anything that's a high stakes match, we pretty much feel like we can always justify him going over. So it's like we need a distraction or something else. Because
and at the same time though, like John isn't at the part of his career where he needs to be putting over young talent.
Yeah.
Like he's still relatively young in his career, so it's like, no, bro, win as much as you possibly can. And then when you get to Sting's age and shit like that, then you can worry about putting people over and shit if you're still wrestling by then. But that's something that you do on your way out, not like while you're still in the game. So that's also why I'm happy that he's in New Japan, because there will be none of that over there. He's either beating ass or going over, no other way around it. It's not like AEW where, okay, take this loss because we're trying to build this star or something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's why I rock with that a little bit more. Up next on WWX, we're going to be talking about Jack Perry showing up in, again, New Japan and ripping up his AEW contract in front of everybody, live audience. I bet he thought he was real cool. I'm just here to say you was not real cool for that, bro.
Yeah. Even when I rewatched this clip, right? Because for those who don't know, this is clearly a work. He still works for both of them because they work in conjunction with the other.
Right.
And if he was,
so it's not like he really left.
Exactly. And if he was a real liability, New Japan would be looking at him like, "You ain't gonna come over here, you gaijin, and come fuck with what we got going on."
Right.
No, he did that to get more heat. He probably will be debuting at the Windy City pay-per-view. And that makes sense because CM Punk's from Chicago, so obviously the crowd's going to react to him. He's obviously going in a more heel route. I feel like this is a hard time for Jack, but one thing I always complimented on, he can wrestle. He can wrestle his ass off. So this
he can wrestle.
So this is his time where he's going to have to, he better have been in the gym. He looks like he got a little bit more stockier, more like he's been lifting more weights. Here's the time for him to prove that he's been putting in the work for almost 6 months that he's been off screen. Because CM Punk has been back multiple times, like been back.
Has wrestled matches already.
And we haven't seen you, Jack. So you got to come through and really put on the spectacle. And I feel like this is something that you can really use to catapult your career. I don't know if this is planned by you. I'm not saying it's planned because I don't know if you're that thirsty for attention. You are a famous star's child, but it's just like, if you don't use this to cement yourself as a real star, he'll never get a bigger rub than this.
Yeah, you better capitalize on this, boy. That's all I really got to say on this. Like, he better capitalize on this opportunity, and at the same time, he don't look no cooler to me than he did dressed as Jungle Boy. So I'm looking forward to some major character development, and maybe he will be a better heel than he was a face.
I just need him to like. Because I feel like just the little elements of the hook shit was just like, some shit was starting to click, but he started getting too big for his britches.
Yeah, no.
He started
smelling
the wrong shit. Like, why you care about what CM Punk said, bro? He don't really run shit. Like, nigga, you see they giving him, he got this championship. That shows he runs shit in a sense because he got his own storyline. He could do that. But nigga, look, they're not giving him the real one anymore. So like, why are you even worried about that shit? You just wrestled for the real one long. And
I felt like CM Punk felt like he had to step in and be like, even though AEW got a general manager and didn't need CM Punk to do that, I felt like CM Punk felt it was so unprofessional there. It wasn't going to be said, and he needed to step in as a GM.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But my thing is like, Jack, why are you taking that to heart to where you feel like you got to say something on camera? Like, he said it to you off screen. He looking at it like he don't know if you said that to anybody in the back. Watch what I got for Phil.
Nobody would know.
Watch if he's like, you don't know if he's like, hey, watch what I got for Phil. Where's my mat? What if you saying that to Hook? Hook don't even know what you're talking about before you go through the curtain. Like, bro, watch. Just wait for him. Like, when I hit that move, when I hit that Rolling Thunder on the hood of the limousine. He's like real glassy, like Hook was like, oh shit. Imagine Hook watching him even wrestling this whole time, and just knowing that fucked up his momentum too.
But I just wanted to say, I said all of that to say though, it also highlights again of how unprofessional AEW might be. You know what I mean? If CM Punk is feeling like he got to step in and talk to a rookie and tell him don't use real glass, what are the AEW officials in the back doing? What are they saying? Like what?
Realism. Like real blood, real cuts, real gashes.
I'm just trying to figure out the mindset of these niggas because like that just goes back to my point of why, you know, every time somebody leave that company, they saying how unprofessional it was. You know, that's the only real knock that I've been hearing on AEW. And I can sometimes see because you can tell, bro, the inmates run the show over there. Because it is a free... How often do you see a GM or anybody? You see Tony Schiavone or you see Tony Khan. Or you see Tony Storm. That's it. You see all the Tonys, okay? You don't ever see a GM or somebody that's really coming out there regulating shit or just, you know, trying to keep the inmates under control. Even the wrestlers, they all make their own matches. They literally go out on promos and be like, I'm fighting this nigga tonight. Oh, yeah? You over here talking shit to me? Well, meet me in the ring tonight. And blah, blah, blah. Like, there ain't never somebody coming out and saying, like, okay, these is the matches. Oh, the inmates want to fight? Well, guess what? You're not about to do it tonight. You're not about to take away from other people back here. We're going to schedule you for next week. Like, shit like that. There ain't nobody doing that type of shit, you know? So I be seeing, like little shit like that. Like, I'm like, yeah, bro, like, it was good to see your pug left. Because, bro, it's low-key out of control over there. You let Jack Perry go over there and show out.
He hold that nigga.
The next topic I was going to speak about is how is Roman going to finesse his way out of this fatal four-way match with the undisputed WWE Championship. Now, I think that's more of the highlight of this because it's like, bro, you're about to go over AJ Styles. He's phenomenal. The name speaks for itself. Okay, and then you're about to go over Randy Orton, 14-time champ, and LA Knight, who just finally got some steam. And what did I tell you, bro? He gonna get all this. He gonna get a couple more title matches, and then he gonna go back down.
Going up.
No, he gonna go back down. And with this L, that he's probably gonna take the pin. Right? You're gonna pin Randy Orton when he just came back and had all that behind him, or you're gonna pin AJ? Really, Lone Wolf AJ, who came back looking like two AJs? No. Not gonna happen. No, you're gonna go over the last nigga that you beat and embarrassed in LA Knight. So that's, and on top of that, it's a fatal four-way match, which means it's a no disqualification match. So you know the bloodline is gonna be involved in any way, shape, or form.
AJ, just take the pin. You're phenomenal.
No, it don't go like that, bro. Because AJ is the only legible person that you actually got right now. Well, I should say one of the only legible people that you got right now that can actually hold the WWE company on its shoulders if Roman Reigns were to want to retire tomorrow. You know what I mean? AJ Styles is definitely up next. It is what it is.
Everybody up next, but they ain't got now. Who got now?
Right now, it's Roman. Right now, it's Roman.
Right here, man. That's what we worry about.
Let's not get away from the topic, though.
Yeah, no, I'm right.
How is Roman going to make it out of Royal Rumble, bro? How can you explain that to our audience?
Simple mathematics, my dear friend. You see, you got 1, 2, 3. All right, that's Solo, that's Roman, and that's Jimmy. That's Jim Silver. Okay. To my liking, that's 3 against 3. Okay? And 3 against 3 equals 0. That means 0 chance of the tribal chief not retaining. And that means we going into WrestleMania. And first, before we even get to WrestleMania, we're going into the Elimination Chamber, Universal Champion. We're going to leave that bitch to WrestleMania 40 as WWE Universal Champion. And we might leave that bitch as that again. Okay? If the train just go keep going, chugga, 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 chugga. You know what I'm saying? It don't stop. This is a it's not a one-stop shop. This is a bullet train. It don't ever stop. So that's how that's gonna go. Did that make sense?
Yeah, but I wanted you to tell me word by word how the match was going to play.
Oh, okay, I got that. I get the math. Now I can tell you. I can illustrate the story. You know what I'm saying? Randy Orton's gonna come out first. Just cut the card off right. Then AJ's gonna come out with his little mysterious shit he got going on. Then LA Knight's gonna get the biggest pop, of course. Then Roman's gonna come out, take 20 minutes to get to the ring. He's gonna run out of the ring, and at first all three of them are gonna chase him, and then they're gonna get their hands on him maybe, but then they're gonna start focusing on each other, and then they're gonna be telling the story most of the match, and pretty much how thirsty they are to get the title off of Roman. Roman's gonna be picking his spots. Roman gonna come in the match. He gonna dominate for a little bit. He gonna snap on these niggas because he low-key frustrated and really fed up that this GM is really thinking that he could come do this shit and he can't get his hands on him. So he really gonna press up on these niggas. We might see blood. I'm not gonna cap because Roman likes to show out at Royal Rumble. Then he gonna chill because he gonna think he got it underway. He gonna start talking some shit to them. Something gonna happen where it look like he really gonna lose this bitch. Oh my god. Someone's gonna hit their finisher, but there's gonna be 1, 2, and he loves kicking out 2.999999, and then you know what? That's when them fuckery happens, and that's when I'ma just tune out. I could just do this. I started putting my one to the sky. Everybody in the room is upset. I got my shirt on. I'm hyped. Everyone's sad around me. I know I made the right choice, and then I know I'm happy, and I get to see the tribal chief leave. And then at the end of the day, you know you can't. You know, it says greatness amongst you. So, you know, when you see greatness, oftentimes it's mistaken or, like, it's confused or, like, it's an uncomfortable feeling. So you might reject it at first, but it's inevitable. So you got to accept that shit. Inevitable. You see how I tie our shirts into that shit, bro? Put me on the track, man. Hey, you know, that's what's going to happen. That is exactly what's going to happen. And
now that he told you exactly word for word what's going to happen, because I don't disagree in the slightest bit. I started busting up laughing because he said it best. The fuckery will begin after that. After he kick out at 1.999, bruh, that's when the fuckery starts. That's when you hear... Ooh! Fucking Jimmy Usopp music. Solo the biggest bro. That's when the fuckery starts. They go dispatch of everybody, and next thing you know, 1, 2, 3, Roman pins LA Knight. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately,
that's what we probably disagree with. I have a strong feeling AJ's gonna get a hold again. Because the whole thing is with
Roman already pinned
no, he didn't do it right. He gotta get it tight. He gotta get it right. He gotta get it right.
That's crazy.
AJ
don't need that twice on his record.
Let me tell you why. How it just makes perfect sense to me. Notice how AJ's been mad at LA Knight, and LA Knight's kind of, even though he's a crowd appealing guy, he's kind of like an anti-hero in a sense, right? He been getting socked on by AJ and holding all this shit, right? He need to cost AJ this match, quote unquote. So AJ need to feel like he got this match won. LA Knight needs to come in there and interfere with that shit. And that leads to AJ getting distracted, knocked out, and then he gets pinned, and now he want to come on SmackDown beefing with LA, and LA gotta either beat this nigga or not. But yeah, it don't matter.
We don't want that.
I want that. Because he ain't taking the pin. We ain't taking the pin.
What happened to Logan Paul at night? Like,
that's going to lead to that. Because he's going to be at the phenomenal one. He said, we got rid of that phenomenal Joker with his bitch-ass peacoat. Nah, Logan Paul. Nah. We need that U.S. Championship. Because they kept me off the last show. So this show, we going down like Long John. We going down. It's going down.
No.
Ain't no story.
He gonna cost AJ. He gonna cost AJ that opportunity, and because he want to sit there and try to take over or some shit, Roman gonna hit that nigga with a crazy ass spear, cut him in half, and then punch his lights out, and then it's gonna be over with. That's exactly what I see. I see that nigga big hating on AJ. It sound good. It sound real.
No, it sounded real. It sounded fake because I believe that. AJ gonna have that match won, and LA gonna come hold that nigga. And then AJ, because AJ gonna be like, nah, I'm just, the gloves are off. I'm gonna just do the craziest shit and just knock LA out, right? Just like that, turn around. Everything that you said that happened is gonna happen to that nigga. And you gonna see. You're gonna be sick. You're gonna be sick like, damn, this nigga.
That's the only part. How this match will end is the only part how I disagree, but the winner is the same.
Nah. Bro, just to cap off all my news, speaking of cap, how do you feel about this new faction brought to you by Paul Ellering and Karrion Kross, the merger with AOP, and it's just so weird. You know, I just never feel like Kane Cross is a serious threat. I feel like even though I wasn't a big fan of his NXT run, where Adam Cole did like disregard him in a huge way and like say how pretty much every management trying to make him feel special from his entrances to what he's depicted and what they allow him to do, just how he can come across. And I just feel like I don't see it, but at the same time he has this new finisher, so I want to see more of that. But I feel like the Final Testament, which is this new faction group, and by the way, speaking of new faction groups, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, who's been a group for over 3 months now, have officially decided to go by the name The Pride, which I am not a fan of, because if you're The Pride, you've been, like I said, you've been together for 3 months, and you guys haven't been defending that pride very well, because you have up and down moments, and I don't think that's to fault of your own. That could be due to writing, but you got to know they didn't put you guys together. You guys got to tell them we didn't come together to lose when we all went on our own. So that kind of looks like we can't. It looks like you're depicting that we can't come together and win, and that's stupid. And so, but I'm also glad at the same time that they've decided to depict you guys as good guys. Because I was like, why couldn't you guys come together and actually be on some, like how you go on some stand-on business shit, but be on the good end of it. But anyway, I feel like the Final Testament is going to be a weird group no matter how you play, unless we get these trios titles popping. And I say that because WWE's been more ushering this trios direction. And I don't know if that's because they see how flourishing AEW is. Speaking of that, just a quick sidebar. Please take those shits off the Acclaim, because now you got people.
What the fuck is that about?
Now you got people trying to wrestle for the ROH championship. Just because you guys have the Acclaim as such a fan favorite, you don't want to take that away from them, because you guys know they don't have good championship reigns, but you have them as good merch buys and shit like that, which we see through, which is cool, but they're not that. And like that, the more you keep them together and try to have them go against groups and team up with people like the Bullet Club, the more you're going to expose them. Because they shouldn't have lost to the House of Black, because the House of Black was carrying a good momentum with those championships.
Pretty Deadly would
fuck them up. That's on, no. I fuck with Pretty Deadly. Like,
put that out there.
He be like, "Man, will you be really fucking with these niggas?" I'm like, "Nah, they're funny, bro. They're really funny, and they just silly and all that shit, but they're funny and they can wrestle."
I never have a problem with Pretty Deadly. I just say they zesty. That's the only thing I say. These niggas come out here with
no. You don't have no problem. You be like, "Yeah, you really
cool.
gonna fuck with them?" I'm like, "Bro, they cool. I can fuck with them with the Acclaim. I can't fuck with the Acclaim like that. The Raps is cool with the Acclaim, but they have nothing in ring compared to that, and they got a legend by their side."
You rather say Yes Boy than Scissor? He said Yes Boy.
That's not true. You tripping, boy. He's smacking that, yes. Yeah, see?
That shit is hilarious, blood. The niggas is wild as hell, bro.
Bro, so it's like, but that's just the honest truth. And I feel like we need some more legibility with championships. And speaking of that, with WWE, brings you back Trios Championship. I know you guys are not going to call it that. You have 6-man championships, and that's something that you guys need to do. I don't know how we need to go about it, but we need to get that. Because there's not enough titles, and I feel like that's what kind of fucks up a lot of people's lineage. A lot of people's lineage.
Yeah, bro, because there was way more titles in the early 2000s and 90s.
No, back in the day, exactly. So like,
nigga, they had European and fucking TV.
Bro, so like it's always somebody who's got a chance to shine, and if not, you would still could be like, "Oh, I did this," or like,
right. And then they took out the cruiserweight division.
It's like every time WWE's too focused on like trying to sell to us like the sports entertainment side and not the wrestling side. That's why I don't like when people kind of comment on Tony Khan having all these championships in AEW. It's actually pretty cool if you ask me.
That nigga John Moxley hated. And he said it's fucking a championship for everything. You can be a champion of drinking beer. Fucking she's the champion.
He hates it, but at the same time, John, you the one that's gonna go over for that world championship. So he gotta give other niggas a chance to make a name. So I don't give a fuck if nobody says those championships is doing us right. Then even if you think about it, whoever beats Eddie Kingston for that Continental Crown is gonna mean something. Just because Eddie has done such a good job of creating such an emotional bond with that championship, that when whoever beats him, you got to nigga damn near kill this nigga for this shit. Right. Then you gotta look at Orange Cassidy. I feel like John Moxley.
Not to interrupt, but I don't wanna get too far away from the Pride and AOP joining up with Cross. Because that shit was very, very aggravating. As far as Bobby Lashley allowing this group to be named the Pride, Y'all don't ever mention nothing about lions. Y'all, I don't know what is the fascination with Bobby Lashley and this black and gold theme and shit. And I cut that shit out, bro. Okay, I mean that's always kind of been his thing. But it's like, no, you gotta transition. Right.
You got the problem doing that shit.
Bro, got me pissed, bro. So I'm just like, bro, like, hold on, bro, because y'all too hype. You're too hype, and you're not doing this shit correctly. I liked how it started. You came out and y'all was sneaking dudes, but the part. No, I'm not going with suited and booted. I'm going with what Dawkins said, sneaking dudes. But that was what fucked that up too, because Dawkins kept saying, "Oh, we gonna be out here sneaking dudes." Nigga, you can't just be out there saying that shit straight up. Like, it's not where you not sneaking nobody.
You're not on reality TV. You're not on. You gotta get in character.
That was the first
downfall
of this. Okay.
No, I'll tell you the first downfall. It was from Dawkins. It was that Bosley. If you were telling that nigga he should have got that shit, that shit started rubbing off. That shit started rubbing off.
Yeah, and
I ain't never looked at it the same. I keep looking to see if it's when it's gonna rub off again. I'm not gonna lie.
But he getting right. At least he knew that shit was an issue.
So that's cool.
So you use that until the Bosley kick in. But no, and then the second, you guys only jumped Joaquin and then once, and then
drop it.
Oh, and then on top of that, then you lose a tag team title match. And then at the same time, you got Bobby being emotional after every one of these matches, like he about to break up with these niggas.
Like he about to pop a blood vessel.
Exactly. So like, I'm like, okay, like y'all is not doing this faction correctly, bro. And then you add the name The Pride. Like, what the fuck? What does that mean?
The Pride?
Where is the Pride? And what does that mean to y'all? And why ain't you ever talked about it? You come out talking about beating niggas up. The last promo that Bobby Lashley just cut talking about he want to be face-to-face with Roman Reigns. That's the only time you ever mention that, bro. You don't come out showing no type of pride and nothing else. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not fucking with that. Y'all need to change that. Y'all need to be called the Dominators or something. I don't know.
Nigga, I read that name and I said, what? What do you mean? If it's different if it's called Pride? Because even then I'd be like, but the Pride? Like what? Like you gotta, like you said, bro. It'd be different if they cut some promos. Like, hey, bro,
you just loosely, basically call me Pride.
Like they cut some promos. Like, you know what? Montez. Like it was Dawkins too. Speaking of Dawkins, like we're like, Montez been a rough couple of weeks. Like it's like we fell off, bro. It's like we lost something. It's like, and it's like Bobby walks in and it's like, it's all about the pride, boys. If you don't got pride, you don't got nothing. It's like. And then it's like that ends right there, and then another one, because kind of similar, kind of how like they have them vignettes for Pete done, because he's coming back from being butch. So he's like, and it just cut right when he's about to say what his name he want to be known as. So give us that suspense, like build towards it. Don't just slap on some suits. They lose the match, you take the suits back. It's no real acknowledgement of anything. Like because all Bobby's kind of do is. To me, that's crazy. Like, I love how you brought up how they were cheating and sneaking dudes because at the same time, that shit's crazy because Bobby bringing that up to you guys, like, oh, you guys, the intensity's not there. And I'm just like, that's crazy because you guys had mad intensity when you won championships and never had Bobby.
And you ain't got to sneak dudes to have intensity.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Kurt Angle ain't never got in the ring and was like, I'm about to sneak this nigga. Like, no.
If he did, he just did it. It's only because you thought he was soft. It's the only time Kurt is sneaking you. But
and I mentioned Kurt because that's how you named 2006 Kurt. Intense.
There's no intent, no. But that's a good ass comparison. And even I'll admit when he was sneak a person only because the nigga thinking he's soft and he just like, look, I'm gonna show you the soft nigga gonna sneak you because now I know you're gonna be coming for me and I can meet you head up. But it's not
in the ring.
Yeah, I'm not worried about you. I just want you to know. I want you to be kind of. That's a mental thing for him. That's a mental thing for Kurt because he looking at you like I already was talking my shit kind of civil to you. But then because I was doing that, you thinking I'm slow. So now I got to show you that I got one up on you, and now you chasing me down. So when I actually do get my hands on you, I'm about to beat you up, and I'm going to outsmart you. Because that's what you did in Triple H. He's the only person in the Attitude Era that was literally getting over on Triple H. And literally had Triple H sit.
And Bobby Lashley was a lot like that. Exactly. That was Bobby Lashley's mentor.
Yeah.
That was Kurt Angle's last match in TNA. So that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like, y'all need to get to that. Get to that. You need to channel that 2006 Bob Lashley. Like, both of the Street Profits, Dawkins and Tez, and then Bobby, you need to come back with that same intensity because, like, as of right now, ain't nobody taking the Pride seriously, bro. It just is what it is.
Out. Until I see championships, and I don't want to see, like, Bobby, at this stage, you got to be accomplishing shit that you haven't done. So fuck the United States Championship. If you're not trying to beat Gunther, which is, you should.
I believe that.
I think we just found he's the first legible because you know Bobby is a record breaker. He never fought him. Okay,
we're not on the same brand.
They're not on the same brand, but we don't know what can happen with Royal Rumble beef or whatever the case may be. Whatever they need to happen because we could. I don't see Gunther just losing that shit at WrestleMania either way. So maybe hopefully we get a draft popping after WrestleMania or something like that, or something that can they fuck this draft shit and we can just go cross Brandon. And I think that's who needs to be to really get this faction going. Start that Bobby get my IC title and then have them new championships. Like the Street Profits are supposed to, when they get this new championship belt, WWE, when you introduce them, those are that tag team that's supposed to stamp the belt because they're young, they're legible, they beat the Usos and the New Day already. So if you want to be like, we need,
and they won belts off them.
Exactly. So it's like, that's who you're supposed to be focusing on.
And they're decorated in NXT as
all three brands, they won the title, bro. I don't think, still, I think we're even on that, right? IC Championship, Bobby Lashley, because if they're not going to give him that W, even though he deserves it, bro, we just got to be realistic. And he ain't got that. Would make him a Grand Slam champion.
Nah, yeah, that's cool, but at the same time, that needs to happen, but at the same time, I need him to go back to Raw and beat Seth Rollins. Like, that's also a layup. If they do the WWE draft and then Raw selects Bob Lash.
But because I always want to see him. I think it's so dope that he got to hold the WWE Championship because that lets you know right there how Bobby is really viewed as an asset after they tried to hold him. Had this nigga showing his ass on camera. This big.
Yeah, had the nigga bending over and pointing at his ass and shit. Bro.
Nigga, you couldn't get me, bro. I would never. You couldn't get me to do that, but. I understand, Bobby. You just want to. You're a competitor. You want to win, and you just know how you got to play the game to get what you want. But at the same time, that is crazy work, WWE. You should shame for that.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too far away from Karrion Kross's new group either, bro. I can actually see the potential in this group. Now, the old nigga being there, I feel like that's a tad much. I don't even know his name.
Paul Ellering.
But I can't even say his last name, and I'm not even gonna attempt. So. I don't feel like he's necessary, but I feel like it kind of just adds on to the group's
creepiness.
Yeah, but creepiness. I feel like necessary
because with these factions, bro, we know like the purpose of them is to come together for a set time to accomplish something and then break apart once you guys are more than when you first started, right? So he effectively is work as their whisperer, like their AOP whisperer. So like. Karrion Kross got his own mindset or whatever, and they like to incorporate Scarlett, his wife. So I feel like it could work in the sense of like maybe he has Charlotte go talk with Paul, or like they they communicate beside each other for the deciding parties. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, it has major potential. I just don't like the course that it's on right now. I don't want to see them go up against Bobby Lashley and the Pride off the rip. Like, save that for down the line.
Where the job is at?
Yeah, I don't feel like that should be like their first beef because when you compare groups, all of them have not been on the up and up and have been struggling to get up.
So whoever wins, somebody's gonna take a huge loss.
That exactly, bro. So it's like it's bad booking. It's bad booking, in my opinion. I feel like you should have definitely had these groups completely separated, and then you use AOP to just beat everybody else up, and then eventually get to Bobby Lashley and them. Because Bobby Lashley and them is still trying to build up their shit. Like, they've only gone against LWO. So it's like, yo, come on now.
And they've lost matches already.
And they've lost matches, and they've lost the title match to the Judgment Day. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, this isn't the best booking for them.
No, it's not.
Moving forward, I gotta ask you, what is your opinion on Matt Riddle's comments on the Kurt Angle podcast? Matt Riddle said he pretty much didn't work out in WWE because niggas was hating on him. You know, I'm not gonna go word for word on what he said, but I'm gonna give y'all some bits and pieces. Okay, he said basically Goldberg, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar, they wasn't feeling him. Pause. They wasn't liking his energy. They didn't like how he was talking shit, and that pretty much overall led to him getting kicked out of the company. And that might be true to an extent, but I think you would have been allowed to stay in the company if you didn't do all the extracurricular shit outside of the ring, like showing your body parts off or letting your messages get leaked where it's out there that you share meat with your girlfriend. Just all type of shit happened when you weren't in the ring, bro. So I felt like that was the bigger reason. And on top of that, there was a message that showed you saying that you pretty much can force WWE into keeping you or something because you got something on them or something crazy like that, you know?
Distort them. That doesn't look like you got
exactly.
Best. You know what Triple H's motto was best for business. Now, he may have been hyped on you, but if he saw that, he just signed this contract with TKO. They don't even like you because you have a prior history with UFC and Dana White hates you. Yeah. So you already
because he's like, all you want to do is just get high.
Yeah, all you want to do is get high, you fucking pothead. Now look at it like this. We smoking weed right now, but you guarantee there's no imagery on the internet of me showing my no square. You're not gonna see me. I don't even like to post myself smoking weed if I'm not doing this, and that's just to show like a different side of the spectrum.
This is just a TV show.
Yeah,
like, we don't even show this.
Yeah, I don't even no one knows I smoke weed. You might see me roll some weed. I'm really good at that, but I don't film myself smoking it like that. So
basically, we're trying to say that when you smoke weed, you got to be professional when you smoke weed. And Matt Riddle, you are not professional.
There's a shit going against you already because they're like, oh, does he act like that because he smokes weed? Like that's something no one really acts like. No one really thinks that about alcohol or anything, but drugs or anything that gets you high, they're like, that has an impact on your behavior. Then you're not taking shit seriously. That's how they're looking at it. He's too busy getting high. That's why he's showing off his body parts. That's why he has no problem texting out. He's a public figure. He doesn't have a problem saying what he likes to do in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And it's nobody's business at the same time. But when you're a public figure and you're doing stuff, you got to think that it could be somebody's business.
And you're on a platform that gets broadcasted to billions of children. Like,
and then you kind of mark yourself to children because you're silly. You're fucking silly, bro.
You're coming out on the scooters and shit with the toes out.
At you thinking like, yeah, he's done. He's hella cool. No, you're marketed to children, and you're silly as fuck. So you're supposed to be in a lane where you're not really exposing them to how freaky you get.
Exactly, and I feel like, again, Matt Riddle, like, that was your downfall. Not you talking shit to Seth Rollins and you talking shit to Brock Lesnar and them. Like, no, instead that was boosting ratings and got people hyped on you and showed that you wasn't, you know, for none. Yeah. Like, you wasn't about to be stepped on by these people. You didn't tolerate disrespect. Like, you stood on business. That was the cool part about you, bro. So I don't want you to think that that's why WWE let you go, because there's a ton of other things that you did outside the ring that if I was an owner of a multi-million-dollar company, I would not want you representing my brand. Hell to the fuck no. I could not allow that shit, bro.
They already talked about they were going to give you a Royal Rumble and they were going to give you fucking Money in the Bank. But it's like, between those 6 months period, you did a lot of weird shit. So that's why you didn't get that shit. And like you said,
so where they kept you off the screen too.
Yeah,
they kept you off the screen.
And to the point, Vince is like, I'm hyped on Austin Theory. So like, even though he has a weird past too, he knows how to stop and hide that shit. You keep bringing shit up to where I have to keep being faced with these questions. And I know if it's not, and you're probably more a Triple H guy, so like Triple H was probably having tired of defending you, and he couldn't really defend you. Like, and at the time when he would have to, Vince was not even in control of the company fully like that. Like at the time when he was making that decision, he knew he was gonna have to step down, but he's like, one of the last things we're doing, Matt Riddle can't have that. That's literally one of his last decisions, and you hear that in his voice too, right? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna take trips. Yeah, okay, I'll think about it. Yeah, give Theory that. I'm not cool with Matt. I don't want it. then look how he looking at it like, yeah, that worked out great. That worked out
You
great.
know that Vince McMahon meme?
Not fucking with that. That ain't no play over here.
So yeah, Matt. You know, at the end of the day, you still one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Simply because of everything that you did in NXT. NXT Matt Riddle, that's my dog.
Oh yeah,
that is my favorite Matt Riddle of all time.
When he tag team with Pete Dunne, and phenomenal tag.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why I still even bring you up or even talk about you on this show, because I know the old Matt Riddle, and that's the Matt Riddle I try to only talk about. But this new Matt Riddle been doing a lot of new wild shit, so like he gets talked about more than NXT Matt Riddle. But NXT Matt Riddle, he was prominent, and I was sick when he got called up to the main roster. And I remember telling you I wish he stayed down there in NXT because
he won the world title,
bro. It just would have helped him, bro. It just would have helped.
It would have humbled him. He got to call it because you know what it is. He provided a flair. The WWE called him up because it was 2019 to 2020, and remember at that time, bro, Raw was at a weird place, and like
where SmackDown became the #1 show.
SmackDown became the #1 show, and not only that, they were looking. They didn't have star like potential because they think about it like the RVDs, those people like wacky. They wanted a new age RVD, somebody who can be like fanfare with the crowd. But RVD would never do this because he's not silly like that. Like he's a bro. That's as much as we hate to say it. Like it got to do with your characteristic. RVD ain't. Look at it now. He got older. Look what he's doing with his wife and stuff with the wrestling. Like now he got more adult like, but he would never be on what Matt Riddle's on, bro.
Never.
No matter how high he got.
And Matt Riddle's one of his guys.
Yeah, he's one of his dudes.
Yeah, that's also a little knock on RVD. Like, bro, game him up. Like, don't let him go out like that, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, if that was my little nigga, like, hey.
Stop trying to.
I'll be looking like that Andre Iguodala meme where he like looking at Jordan Poole like, come here. Let me talk to you. Let me talk.
You tripping.
What is wrong with you, dude? You don't go out there acting high, bro. You don't do that shit, bro. And I know you can't
backstage segment.
Yeah, bro. Like you don't do that. You don't do that. And then on top of that, game him up on the outside of the ring, bro. You need to keep that shit under wraps. You are too fucking horny. You are too fucking horny, bro. Like you so horny, all your messages got leaked. Like because you wanted to be in this relationship with this bitch.
They had to share that with somebody because they're like, whatever he's on is so horny. Did you see it?
It's crazy. Do you know him?
You know my friend. Do you know my boyfriend? Actually, like that's Paul. That's how she's like
yo.
Like, do you know Matt? Because I showed you. We remember we went to dinner with Matt that one time. You see why I bring him around like that? Because he just says things. Text boom. That's
exactly what I'm trying to say, man. To wrap up our show, I had stumbled upon this old clip of Sting, basically an interview explaining his last match in WWE, well, one of his last matches in WWE with Seth Rollins. And basically, after Seth Rollins beat him, Sting, you know, he just walks to the back on his own strength, and he's cool, like he's just chilling. He's bummed out, of course, because he just lost his quote-unquote last match, you know. So he's just sitting by himself, and out of nowhere, Triple H comes up to him. He's like, Sting, you got to go, man. You got to go. You got to get out of here. And he's like, huh? Like, what do you mean? And the next thing you know, they putting this nigga on a gurney and putting him in a neck brace and all this other extra ass shit for these cameras. So, and then they're wheeling him into an ambulance. And Seth Rollins sees this from afar, which Seth Rollins also named this moment as like an outer body experience, because he's like watching himself run up to Sting and to make sure he's okay. And he's saying to Sting like, yo, you was my favorite wrestler, I loved you, I'm sorry if I did anything, blah blah, I thought everything was cool, like, yeah, you know what happened. And Sting is just kind of just laughing, and he's like, I'm good, everything's cool, like, you know. And that also just shows, like, you know, how professional Sting is and how much of a man he is, because he could have looked at Seth Rollins and been like, little nigga, get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm in this dumbass shit because of you. I'm not even hurt, but they're making me do all this extra ass shit for you to make you look like you did something. So, like, you know, That shit, I brought that up because that shit just irritated me. Because I've always hated how WWE depicted Sting on his way out, him losing to Seth, and then him going back and then losing to Triple H. I thought that was a major embarrassment to Sting's entire career and his accomplishments, and exactly that, extremely weird. And still to this day, it rubs me the wrong way. What are your thoughts on that, bro? Like, how do you feel like Sting was depicted on his way out the door?
Sting was made to look, garnered to look less than. That's what I feel like, and it's like, it sucks to say, like, that's why it's a good thing that we were exposed to Sting's wrestling history prior to him stepping foot into WWE, and this is also one of the main reasons why he took so long. Because when Vince McMahon originally bought WCW from Ted Turner, he really wanted to have the opportunity to have Goldberg and Sting at his disposal, because a lot of the pride in buying his competition was like he's gonna have them have their biggest stars work for him. Now Hogan, Nash, and Hall all had prior relationships with Vince and all worked for him before, so them ushering that new era wasn't too hard, and they already jumped ship on Vince. And like Vince, even Hulk Hogan, the steroids trial, he basically turned Vince and like snitched on him. So like Vince already know what he was dealing with. So like he couldn't really, his main focus wasn't those people. It was the people who were WCW homegrown talents, and Goldberg and Sting held out. So I feel like that ended up playing a major role in why Sting didn't get no rubs when he did step foot in WWE.
At least they let Goldberg be a champion.
They let Goldberg be a champion, because
especially
I feel like Goldberg stand a little bit more business, and he really will get physical, because he's like
look at me.
I would
like
look you up. Like this is like
Goldberg literally looks like my granddad.
You know,
like just an extremely old ass nigga, but he's super buff and built and not playing.
It's just crazy because I can see it. Just think about it like this: Triple H really was scared of Goldberg, and it's like that's your line of defense, Vince. Who's like, okay, what's Triple H gonna do this thing? I mean, what's Sting gonna do to Triple H like that? He got a sledgehammer or anything like. Goldberg not even worried about that sledgehammer.
Yeah, bro. I just found it was extremely disrespectful for WWE to allow Sting to go out with a loss to Triple H, and especially at that point in Triple H's career, bro, he was on his way out the door. He was finished. He shouldn't have even been wrestling.
Bro, then 8 months
later, he came out of retirement
to win the WWE Championship in that Royal Rumble match against Roman.
That's what I'm saying, man. That was just a horrible time in wrestling, and then. At the same time, bro, I don't like Undertaker's comments on Sting, because you would think that there would just be a little bit more respect between them. But, like, The Undertaker was basically in an interview talking like, yo, like, I would have beat the shit out of Sting. It was no-brainer. I'm going over him easy and blah, blah. And maybe at WrestleMania, you would go over on him, of course, because everyone knows that's your pay-per-view. But at the same time, bro, it ain't gonna be no easy feat. Sting was no bitch. Sting was a world champion. So you gotta have some type of respect for this man. And on top of that, he's twice your age, and look at where you're at and look at where he's at.
No, yeah.
He's still doing it and giving you legible, credible matches and dropping niggas still on their head. What are you doing? You're just doing podcasts around the world because you're tired and nobody wants to see you do anything anymore because you're burnt out. Sting is literally an icon, bro. The Undertaker, yeah, you're phenomenal. You're an icon to an extent, but look at what Sting is still on, bro. You could only sit at home and wish to be able to even step in a ring with a young nigga and last as long as Sting do. Like, and win the match. And win the match, bro. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. So,
and Sting got, like, I just look at it, I just feel like Undertaker doesn't understand, like, you've been nurtured and like coddled by Vince this whole time. So like, bro, even if you did go to another promotion and you could say like, I'd still go over, bro, it wouldn't be the same because of how Vince kind of like molded the setup. So it's like, what can go over on you? It just makes more sense for you to be beating everything that's in front of you. Sting, from promotion to promotion, he came up with his own identity. The only person who gets credit is Scott Hall. Scott Hall said you should grow your hair out and you should. Have you ever seen The Crow? And Sting watched that shit and he garnered how to play that role. So it's not even like Scott Hall can't take full credit. He gave him an idea, but at the same time, it's not like he didn't teach him how to step by step do it, or it didn't show him like, okay, this is how you should do it, like da 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 da. So it's like you gotta give Sting credit. Go from promotion to promotion, have that legibility, have that factor to be able to go in.
And to still be legible and wanted to see today.
And then the only reason you gotta look at it like WWE, he didn't get the championship because of what I said. He didn't come when everybody else jumped ship to the promotion in 2001. Not only that, Vince also mad at him for going to TNA, and when TNA was giving him rivals in ratings and shit like that, who was world champion, who was the main event Mafia? Sting. So it's and that's before there was even an AEW, and he like to show that, hey, you can come over here and still win, because WWE looking like you came over here because you had no other option. You tied it out small check. So
and Sting paved the way for all the other WWE wrestlers to go over there.
Exactly. So they're like
that they didn't want to use no more.
And so they use him as an example. So it's like, you gotta just look at Sting like he deserves to be a WWE champion because he was there. Like I just don't see him why he lost to Triple H.
That don't make no damn sense, bro. The reason why I have an issue with this and I brought it up is because Sting will be having his last match at Revolution this year. This is Sting's last year in wrestling. I just hate that his last small run in WWE didn't work out the way it should have. And I felt like that was very selfish on WWE's part or Triple H's part, whoever you want to blame. And yeah, I don't think Sting should have been depicted like that. He's an icon. That's my dog. You know what I mean? And he's the only scary, bad / good guy that you can actually rock with for multiple eras. Through multiple eras, Sting has always been the outlier.
Always been cool. Always been a cool dude. Always had his own story going on. Don't necessarily need a faction. Can be, and he was involved in legendary factions. So it's like NWO, like I don't care what anyone says, NWO, and I fuck with the main event Mafia, because all that group had nothing but champions, and they were all winners, and they understood the essence of championship wrestling. That's why that shit clicked so well.
Hell yeah, bro! I couldn't have said it any better myself, man. Shout out to Sting though, man. That's that dog, and he will be missed when he is out of wrestling. That's been another episode of Wrestling with Exotics. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Peace. We appreciate you guys for watching. This has been another episode of WWX. And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so that way you know every time we drop a track. And make sure you go check out our website to go get some Players Club gear. And that's myshopify.pcfshop.com. Alright, so go there for your Players Club gear. And like I said, follow us on all social media platforms so that way you can keep up with us throughout the week. Peace.